All right, so today we're unboxing this EcoViva RO-1000G water filtration system. If this looks familiar, it's because EcoViva reached out to me after watching my water drop filter install video. They asked if I'd be willing to do a full install walkthrough on their system as well. So they sent this unit out for free, and in this video I'm going to show you the entire installation process from start to finish so you can see exactly what's involved and decide if this is something you want to tackle yourself. Here's the main RO unit out of the box. This is a tankless reverse osmosis system, so it's designed to save space under the sink while still delivering a lot of filtered water quickly. You can see the individual filter cartridges here, and overall the footprint is actually pretty compact for what it does. This smaller box inside is the faucet. And honestly, this thing looks really slick. It's a modern-looking faucet with a built-in display, and it definitely feels like an upgrade compared to a lot of basic RO faucets I've seen before. I'm actually pretty excited to get this installed. In this box, you've got all of your tubing, the white, blue, and red lines, which all connect different parts of the system together. There's also the power supply, since this system does have electronics and a display. This little circular tool is used to install and remove the filters, which is nice because it makes filter changes way easier later on. This is the quick start guide, and it actually does a good job breaking the install down step by step. It walks through mounting, tubing, the drain connection, and the faucet install, so it's helpful to have this nearby. Before we get into the install, here's a look at all the tools we ended up using for this project. There are quite a few, and I'll link everything we used down in the description so you can grab what you need ahead of time. At this point, my brother is under the sink helping me figure out the best place to mount the system. The main thing you're looking for here is enough clearance on the side of the cabinet so you can hang the unit, but also still have room to remove the filters later when it's time to replace them. We're using a straight edge and measuring things out to make sure everything lines up before drilling any holes. Once we're happy with the position, we mark the holes for the metal mounting bracket. You want to make sure the bracket is level and mounted solid, because this unit does have some weight to it once all the filters are installed. One thing we ran into here is that the screws that came with the system were a little too long for our cabinet wall. So instead of poking through the other side, we decided to cut them down. Quick safety note, this first way we did it is not the way you want to do it. A much better option is to catch the cut end in a bowl or strainer like this, so it doesn't go flying or land in your hand. If you already have shorter screws, that's even better. But depending on your cabinet thickness, this is something you'll want to check before installing. With the screws cut down to size, we finish mounting the bracket to the side of the cabinet. Now we hang the RO system directly onto the metal bracket and give it a quick shake just to make sure it's secure. We also test removing the filters, just to confirm there's enough clearance to twist and pull them out later. Each filter just twists and pops out, which is exactly what you want for future maintenance. Next up is connecting into the cold water line under the sink. Here you can see the brass fitting installed onto the existing water line. This is what feeds water into the RO system, so you want to make sure everything here is snug but not over-tightened. Now we're moving up to the countertop. EcoViva includes this sticker that shows you exactly how big the hole needs to be for the faucet. Once you're happy with the location, you stick it down and you're ready to drill. For this step, you'll want a 1-inch diamond drill bit. The key is to start at about a 45-degree angle so the bit doesn't walk across the surface. As you drill, you want to keep the bit cool. We just used a little water. You can pour it on, use a cup, or even a wet paper towel. Once the hole starts forming, you slowly straighten the drill up to 90 degrees. Apply steady pressure, keep adding water, and take your time. Eventually, you'll break all the way through and get a clean circular cut. Once we're through, we peel off the sticker and wipe everything down. And this is the piece that came out. Honestly, it's kind of cool to see the full quartz cylinder like that. Now it's time to install the faucet. We drop the hose down through the hole we just drilled and set the faucet in place on the countertop. Underneath the sink, you slide on the mounting hardware and tighten it down so the faucet is locked in and doesn't spin. The last step here is installing the faucet, head, and handle. Once that's snapped into place, you can rotate it back and forth, and this is where the filtered water will come out. Next up is installing the drain line. This white plastic piece clamps onto the black drain pipe under the sink. You drill a small hole into the pipe and a little bit of water will drip out, so it's a good idea to have a towel or bowl ready. The red hose connects here, and this is how the system drains the wastewater. Once the red line is inserted, you clamp the two white pieces around the pipe using the long screws and nuts. Then you snap on the blue clip, which locks the hose in place so it can't come loose. From here, we move on to connecting the white and blue hoses. Each hose is color-coded, and the system itself is labeled, so it's pretty hard to mess this part up. You just push each line in until it clicks. At this point, everything is connected and working, but we've got a lot of extra hose coiled up under the sink. So we decided to clean this up by trimming the lines down to length. The key here is not cutting them too short. You want enough slack to service the system later if needed. We unplug each line one at a time, measure it out, make a clean cut, and plug it right back in. This is the little cutting tool we used for the hoses. It makes a really clean, straight cut, which helps the fitting seal properly. Next is the power supply. We found a spot right above the filters where it sits nicely and stays out of the way. Since the faucet has a display, this system does need power to run. This circular tool is what you use to install and remove the filters. Definitely keep this somewhere accessible for future filter changes. Now that everything is connected, we turn the water back on under the sink and check for leaks. We also turn on the main sink faucet just to make sure everything is working normally. Next, we plug the system in for the first time, and this is where we ran into something worth pointing out. The outlet under this sink is tied to the garbage disposal switch, so when the disposal switch is off, the water filter loses power. This is actually pretty common in a lot of kitchens. If you're comfortable doing electrical work, you can separate the outlets, so one stays always on. If not, this is definitely a situation where you'd want to call an electrician so the system can be on its own dedicated outlet. Once everything is powered on, the faucet display lights up. It shows you the status of each filter and gives you a clear indicator of when they'll need to be replaced. It's a really clean, modern-looking display. This is the first time turning the filtered water on. We fill up a glass and give it a taste, and right away it tastes clean and fresh. No weird flavors, no smell. Exactly what you want.
That's the first time I drank water in 6 months. It's kind of loud. So we got the RO system all installed, but yesterday we discovered that the power under the sink is only controlled by the switch. There's the disposal switch there. So I went and grabbed some wire, pulled out the dishwasher, and what I plan to do is run a power line right off the back of here, under through the cabinet, back through there, and then up under the sink. And I'll install a box that gives continuous power instead of switched power. Then the RO system will be on its own, and the dishwasher can be on a switch. Okay, since I had that outlet, I went ahead and ran the wires in the cabinet there, behind the dishwasher, through this back corner cabinet, and into an outlet right there. And of course I made sure the power was off. Now it's back on. I can see I've got it wired up correctly with that tester. That outlet back there will be switched power for the disposal, and that one will be continuous power for the RO system.
So that's the full installation of the EcoViva RO-1000G water filtration system. Overall, the install was very manageable if you're comfortable with basic DIY projects and working under a sink. Hopefully, seeing the entire process from start to finish helps you decide if something like this would work in your own kitchen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more helpful how-to videos, product installs, and real-world projects from Dan Good Dad.